Dog, I have been terrible at this. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to V.E.D.A, vlogging every day in April. Pretty sure the last one of these I did was like day 22 or 24 or something. And we are now at what? Day 28. We're doing good. This is day 28 of our V.E.D.A challenge, vlogging every day in April. And of course, we are in our month of favorites. And this month also sees two very big things in the geekdom community come to pass. The first is the Endgame. Of course, I'm not going to be talking about Endgame spoilers, although I have seen the movie. Opening day, which is a very stupid idea unless you know what you're doing. But luckily I did know what I was doing, and very much thoroughly enjoyed my experience. Crowd was awesome. You know, I live in a very small town, but there was a lot of, like, fuck yeah moments, and cheering, and clapping, and crying, and laughing. It was so fantastic. But the other one, happening tonight, actually, is the big battle against the Night King in Game of Thrones. So, because I've seen Endgame, but I have not seen that episode of Game of Thrones just yet, let's talk about the MCU, Marvel Cinematic Universe. We've had so many movies in this giant 11-year pantheon of Marvel properties that we never thought we would ever get to see, especially when Disney took over. I think everybody, myself included, was very skeptical on what they would do with them. And, you know, like, you got somebody like Iron Man. And Iron Man is so snarky. He's Tony Snark. And he's sarcastic. He's a playboy. He's a billionaire philanthropist playboy. And we were like, when Disney took a hold of this, are we going to see, you know, the Avengers musical? But then I had to tell myself they also did Pirates of the Caribbean, which is kind of an adult movie, you know, very sexual undertones, you know, a swear word every now and then, and some really cool fight scenes. You know, say what you will about At World's End, it's probably one of the best sword fight scenes that Disney's ever done. So, you know, can they do cool fight scenes? Yes, they can. Can they do very serious subject matter? Yes, they can. So, okay, let's give it a shot. And then Captain America, the First Avenger, came out. Well, I guess technically Iron Man 1 came out. And Iron Man 1 was really, really good. I personally was kind of bored with the first half of it, and I have the kind of attention span where if you don't grab me right in the beginning, I've checked out. You've lost me. This is much to my detriment, because there's a lot of movies or books or video games that I have not been able to enjoy because just the beginning of it bores the shit out of me. So, I have seen Iron Man 1. I might have seen Iron Man 2. I did not see 3. Also, other movies, while we're talking about favorite MCU movies, which is what I am talking about, I feel the need to mention I have not seen either of the Ant-Man movies, and I have not seen Black Panther. I want to see Black Panther, because he's a fucking badass, but I have not seen Black Panther. I had a choice before Infinity War came out to see Black Panther or to see Spider-Man Homecoming. I saw Homecoming. I am disappointed with my choice. So do not expect Spider-Man Homecoming to be even in my top 10 of the, 21 movies that had come out before Endgame? But Captain America the First Avenger is definitely up there. It was absolutely incredible. You're taking somebody who originally is about as boring as Superman. Captain America is the Boy Scout. He's the all-American superhero. He can do no wrong. And it's very difficult to make that superhero entertaining. But the way they did it was that they made him human. You know, there are good people out there, and good people can still be entertaining. But in the comics, it always felt like Captain America was a symbol. it was this character, this caricature of righteous America. And no one wants to see that shit. Honestly, it's not the 1940s. This is not a propaganda movie. Just make a fucking superhero that we can relate to. And this was one that we could relate to. We could see someone picking up the shield and championing justice and righteousness for all, while still, you know, being a superhero. And the very military-esque parts of his personality were because he was in the military. So he's got that kind of training behind him. I believe Captain America was honestly done probably perfectly. Now let's talk about a movie that's not part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but is a Marvel movie, is now owned by Disney, and we may get to see a bit of a crossover. This is kind of cheating a bit, but Deadpool. Deadpool is not an MCU movie, but it could be now. There's very little change that you'd have to make. Because I don't believe that really they've used any characters from the MCU under different actors. You know, this isn't like a Quicksilver thing. You know, but X-Men would be a really hard one to throw into the MCU, even if everybody owned everything, because they have two different Quicksilvers. They have a lot of people. I mean, I guess the Quicksilver in the MCU, spoilers, is dead, and really never made that much of an impact. So, you know, maybe you can just Aunt Vivian that shit. I don't know. But Deadpool is probably the best Marvel movie to come out ever. The most accurate to the character, the most entertaining, tear-jerking, weirdly enough, in Deadpool 2. Although I guess it'd be a really weird one for the MCU, considering that Cable and Thanos are the same guy. So, and he's referenced Thanos, so, I don't know, you know. I'd like to see Deadpool 3 start out by him walking out of a theater showing of Endgame and just spoiling it for everybody in the row. Like, I think that'd be fucking hilarious. I'm trying to talk around ones before I get to my favorite. Thor. I actually love all three of the Thor movies. Ragnarok was probably the best, but I really do like Dark World. I don't like short hair Thor. I know a lot of people do, but I don't like short hair Thor. I think he looks like a fucking pike. For the record, I don't like short hair Captain Marvel either. Some people won't know what I'm talking about, but I don't like short hair Captain Marvel. But fuck, at least Thor explained why his was short. So yeah, the Thor movies were incredibly hilarious. Even, you know, the first two, which were not technically comedies. You have Thor drinking coffee in the cafe in the first one and throwing it down. I like this drink. Another. Like, absolutely amazing, his transition. Guardians of the Galaxy. Such a great movie. Guardians 2, I think, was worse than Guardians 1 in that I would give Guardians 1 like a 9 and Guardians 2 like a 7.5. They're still both very good movies, but Guardians 1 was just perfection. Absolutely great. I love all of the characters. They all have good motivations. They all act like actual human beings. You know, Peter Quill acting in character during Infinity War. Yes, that makes sense with his character, but also he can fuck off the edge of my dick. So now let's get to actually my favorite of the movies, because honestly, Guardians gets pretty far up there, but what's a 10 out of 10 superhero movie for me? Great plot twists, great action, you know, like edge of your seat storytelling with compelling characters and the right motivations to do what needs to be done. Captain America, The Winter Soldier, I think was probably my favorite, was my 10 out of 10 Marvel Cinematic Universe movie. You've got the return of Bucky, you've got him being brainwashed and Cap having to fight him because it's the right thing to do, because he needs to save people, but also he doesn't want to kill his best friend, you know, trying to figure out everything, the reveal of Hydra. All of these things were just absolutely fantastic. And yeah, there was not a single bad moment of that movie. Whereas in Guardians, I might be able to point out one or two scenes that were either boring or just completely unnecessary. I think that from start to finish, The Winter Soldier did everything right. But of course, let me know in the comment section down below what your favorite MCU movie is. Is it one of the ones I've never seen? You know, am I really missing out by not watching Ant-Man? You know, have I screwed the pooch by waiting a year to watch Black Panther? Maybe there's one that I'm completely forgetting about. You know, maybe you're a big Hulk fan. I thought the movie sucked. I'm sorry. But, you know, maybe you're that person. Maybe you're a really big Hulk fan. Maybe you liked Civil War or Infinity War really well because they were both very well done movies. You know, sound off in the comment section down below. Don't forget to also let me know what we should talk about more at our month of favorites, even though it is very much coming to an end. Don't forget to let me know what you want me to do next year as we try and actually vlog every day in April with our month of favorites. So, of course, I'm the Medieval Massacre, and that's the 411.